Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight we bring you the WP Concreting 410 Fix Setup Series presented by Australian Fix Setup Racing, live here on Ultimate Dirt TV on YouTube. My name is Brett Wheeler. Joining me in the booth once again is Sean O'Hara. And Sean, welcome. And tonight we come to the famous Knoxville Raceway, the sprint car capital of the world, for another round of the AFSR 410 sprint cars.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, Brad. This place, just keep your tingling and say it's such an awesome place.
Practice coming to a close as we get set to tackle qualifying here for the first race. And what we'll do after race number one, we take the top 20 qualifiers straight into the main event. There'll be no heat races or B major in like that. Once the top 20 drivers are locked in, we'll then get set into the main event tonight, as we've got cars on the racetrack right now to tackle the Knoxville Raceway. Each driver getting 3 laps to lay down the best time. You see car on screen is Aaron Kelly in the number 7 machine, so keep an eye on him as we look to go qualifying here at Knoxville.
Yeah, the 27 drivers in the circuit rep, so we're going to have 7 races, so it's going to be a matter of trying to get above that cut line of 20.
It certainly is. It gets very close to our top 20 in drivers. We have a look at the times coming through on screen at the moment on the left hand side. Harry Kelly was quick time. Cody Morosky goes to position number 2. James Robbie bumps out. And wow, there is a lot of changes going on as the cars are laying down some fast lap times at the moment. Todd Atkins in car number 26 lays down a 15.441. And that is quick time at the moment. Danny Vassell in 3rd. Lachlan Smith on the racetrack now going to complete his first of 3 laps. And Lachlan Smith second quick with a 15.473.
Lachlan showing a good time there. The field is so close, Brad, but it's separated by just tenths of a second from the top 10 at the moment.
Certainly, so Todd Atkins still quick time at the moment in car number 26. We're watching the 42 of Brett Gerards on the racetrack now into turn number 3 and 4 as he completes a lap around the Knoxville Raceway. Todd Atkins still quick time. Brett Gerards jumps into your top 10 with a 15.657 on the track, getting a bit of a scratch before the main event here tonight. We see a fresh track, and drivers are going to have to get used to running on a fresh track rather than what the track was in practice, and that was fairly steep. There was multiple grooves, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think with Knoxville we're going to see some good racing up high and down low, so with the track being so wide, I would expect to see, or be surprised to see some 3 wide racing around here tonight.
So we've still got quite a few cars to go out and take a time. We'll go through your top 10 in standings at the moment. And a couple of guys I'm going to keep my eye on. We got the 51 of Bob King. We got Daniel Gow, which I believe should be in the 22. Joel Berkeley in the 9 as well. So there are a couple of guys to look out for. Josh Michaelmore in car number 96 as he looks to try and scrape into the top 10, but he can't at the moment. And speaking of Joel Berkeley in that TTL Esports car number 9, he will get his first lap in right now.
Yeah, always expecting some good stuff from him, but we know he's quick and can always pull out the time when he needs it.
Put a challenge to him last week in race number 2 if he won. So he's just gotten off the gas, so looking to I think he's going to take the challenge of getting to the back. He's 17th at the moment. He's 0.315 off your pole sitter of Todd Atkins. Looking on the racetrack as well in car number 11. That's going to be Daniel Gow. So changes his number up quite a bit. Daniel Gow, retired and then unretired. Semi-retiree in that SSR paint job track start number 11. We'll see what he can do here on his opening lap around the Knoxville Raceway. And it is good enough for 7th quick with a 15.592.
looks like the track's gone off relatively quick tonight. I was expecting to get out to maybe in the top 5 there, so I'm wondering if the track's just gone off a bit quicker than he thought, and he left his run a bit late in the session to try and save up time there.
So not much longer left in qualifying, and look at the 20th car on the racetrack, or 20th position, Gavin Sadler. So many times over the past couple of weeks he's been right around that bubble, and making it into the show just by the skin of his teeth. He's looking like he's going to do that again here tonight, but we'll go through your fastest 10 qualifiers that we can see on screen at the moment. Todd Atkins in car number 26 is quick time with a 15.441. The checkered flag has officially been thrown here. Lachlan Smith will grab second with a 15.473. Danny Vassell in the 97 with a 15.485. Scott Butler in fourth. Quick Nathan Norman fifth. Zachary Phelan in sixth. And I will just go bring up the starting grid. So Sean, if you want to bring us our starting grid, we'll go through that right now.
Okay, so starting off your pole position, we have Todd Atkins. Beside him, we have Lachlan Smith. In third position, we have Daniel Vassell. And in fourth, we have Scott Butler. In your fifth position tonight will be Nathan Norman, and beside him will be Zach Phelan. In seventh position, Daniel Gow, and eighth will be Bruce Smith. Your ninth place car tonight will be Sean McGinskin, and Cody Morsky will be rounding out your top 10. 11th place, we've got Brett Gerards. We have Darren Bramfield in 12th position. 13th is James Robbie. 14th, Michelle Callaway. 15th, Brad Speedley. 16th, Mitchell Gee. 17th, Lance Bainton. 18th, Aaron Kelly. 19th, Joel Berkeley. And 20th, doing it again, Gavin Sadler sneaking in.
Yes, sneaking in indeed, that's for sure. As we get set to roll off, 30 laps the distance. Now, for the guys that didn't make it into the top 20, so positions 21 on back, they will actually have their own little last chance race 5 minutes after this one has started. So it won't be broadcasted, but they will get a chance to get some points in their own little race. So it should be good, but we are going to get set for tonight's feature. Race number 1. You see it is a bright sky outside around the Knoxville Raceway. And race number 2 will be under the lights, and that's going to be a different racetrack, I would dare say, because race number 1 we always see a tacky one. Race number 2, that's where the slick track comes into play.
Yeah, just like a normal night of racing. So we'll see the fast tacky track now, and then we'll see that slick track come in once the sun comes out.
So Lachlan Smith and Todd Atkins, your front row. You got Danny Vassell, Scott Butler, Nathan Norman, Zach Phelan, Daniel Gow, Bruce Smith. We get set to go green off turn number 4. And we are racing here for the Australian Fix Setup Racing. And Todd Atkins gets a good launch into turn number 1 and 2. Keep an eye on Daniel Gow in that 5th spot in that 11 machine, looking to make some progress. Now looking on the inside of Butler Norman to the inside of Smith. Then yellow is out on the racetrack. We have our first caution of the night, and looks like it's going to be the 20 of Brad Smedley.
Good stuff by the front guys there, Brett. Definitely with Todd getting the job there. And getting past Lachlan on the inside there too.
Yeah, Aaron Kelly somewhat caught up in that one as well. And we'll have to keep an eye on the 9 as well, Berkeley, who I gave him a challenge last week at Lanier to start the race at the very back of the field. And, well, he won from the back of the bus, and I put the challenge out to him again here for both races. He was going to do it for race number 2. I called him a little bit of an expletive, and he said, you know what, I'm going to do it from the back in both races. So keep an eye on the number 9 to come through the field. Starter position, number 19. But Todd Atkins is at the pointy end of the field. He will lead Danny Vassell, Lachlan Smith in 3rd, Nathan Norman Scott Butler, Daniel Gow, Zach Phelan, Bruce Smith, Cody Morosky in car number 22. Sean McGuinness can rounding out your top 10. We go back to Brett Gerards, Michelle Callow, Mitchell G, James Robbie, Lance Bainton. Lance Bainton is not. Darren Brumfield. Then Lance Bainton, Gavin Sadler, Joe Berkeley's now coming up through the field. So lights are up. We get set to go green.
Double file restart again. Looks like we're going double file to the right tonight.
See if these guys can keep it under control for double files. I believe if there's a caution on a caution, they may switch it up to single file restart. But Todd Atkins has the field. And we are back underway. It'll be 4 laps complete and 26 laps left to run. Danny Vassell in second. Lachlan Smith lines up in third, and Nathan Norman just tucks in behind the 911 in that 4th spot.
Everyone looking for that high line at the moment, so it's its way around. That low line hasn't quite come in yet, so everyone is trying to find this racetrack.
Oh, yellow is out. Again, this time we'll see if we can see what happened. We got Mitchell G and Lance Bainton upside down, so another couple of casualties already developing early on here, and it's a bit unfortunate that these guys have got 30 laps to get it done. And I mean, you can't call it short track racing because it's a big half mile, but this track is big enough to where that you can run side by side.
Yeah, definitely. I think the guys are just trying to push a little bit harder to start here at the moment. They need to start giving each other a little bit of room. It just looks like banging wheels is just turning people. That's what's creating the yellows.
So second yellow of the night around the Knoxville Raceway. The track should slick it off significantly for race number 2. And what we're going to do with the race number 2, as soon as race number 1's done and we have a chat to our drivers, we will shut the stream down, but we will restart it back up when race number 2 gets launched, the practice server. I believe there's only a 10-minute practice session, and then they get into qualifying. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on YouTube here on Ultimate Dirt TV and be notified of when we go live. We got quite a bit of racing to come up over the next couple of days, that's for sure anyway. So feel free to follow us on Facebook as well. Just look up Ultimate Dirt TV. And we've done, well, this is my 4th race in 3 nights, and still got one tomorrow and one on Friday to come on YouTube as well.
Busy times.
Busy times indeed. In fact, Thursday, Friday from about 1:15 daylight savings time or Sydney time, I got night 3 and 4 of the Dirty Old Bastards Speed Week rounds, so that should be fun times. Lights are out on the pace truck. We get set to go green. Todd Atkins gets a good start yet again. Danny Vassell tries to go with him, and Lachlan Smith tucks in behind the 97. And here comes Nathan Norman to the outside of Lachlan Smith off of turn number 2. Can he make the pass? No, he can't, but he's going to try and make that outside line work, but the bottom is too fast at the moment.
Yeah, still looking at everyone running around the top there. You can see the middle starting to come in. Dan Vassell is getting up the inside there through the mid. So it looks like coming down track, he's getting a little bit quicker.
Yeah, Vassell made the pass on Atkins there in turns 3 and 4. Atkins going to shut the door on Nathan Norman. Norman goes around. Gow gets into Norman, and Gow lost the front wing. Norman upside down. Berkeley was around there for a moment after the yellow. And, well, just a bit of a concertina effect there. So, another yellow out onto the racetrack, and not as bad as what we've seen over the past couple of weeks sometimes.
Now we're getting a few laps in under green. It's just unfortunate there those 3 cars battled for the same bit of real estate and just got the front knocked down and turned around. So it's still a good run from the guys, but I'd like to see the green flag running.
So Daniel Gow actually going back into the pits. The crew replacing that front wing very quickly. Couple of bolts off, bolt the new one on, and well, that 11 will be able to come back out onto the racetrack, and we'll be able to restart this. This time it's going to be at the back of the bus. And how about Danny Vassell putting the move on Todd Atkins for the race lead in 3 and 4. Lachlan Smith just creeping his way into the top 3 as well. And Scott Butler doing a nice job in 4th.
Yeah, Dan not afraid to make it 3 wide there. He was really forceful and made the middle of the track big.
Right, so lights still on the pace truck, the iRacing official pace truck. As they will turn off this time by as they go past the Doug Clark flag stand here at the Knoxville Raceway. And indeed they do, and the drivers start to shuffle up in rows of 2. Danny Vassell, Todd Atkins, Lachlan Smith, Scott Butler, Bruce Smith, Zach Phelan, Brett Gerards, Cody Morosky, the 46, I believe, is Callow. You got James Robbie, Berkeley as well. So still plenty of racing to come here as we go green this time off. Turn number 4. Sean, I'll let you lead us back to the green flag.
So Dan Vassell off the front row here, starting like 14:30, half race distance. Green flag. We've had a turn around off the start. We've gone yellow again.
Yeah, not sure what happened to Scott Butler there. I believe that was the start for the 94. He was the one that sort of got turned around. I'm not sure whether he had a helping hand or not, but 94 was the main cause of that caution.
Just looking at the replay, Brad, it looks like a concertina effect. 26 will be on it, and 94 miles back turn around.
Alright, no worries. So, well, Butler a big loser out of that one. As we see yet another yellow flag for the WP Concreting Australian Fixed Up Racing 410 Sprint Car Series. And I think we are getting to the last couple of weeks of the series. Not sure where we head to next week, but I think next week may be the final week.
Yeah, that's correct. Tonight will be the penultimate round, and we head to the knee next week for the final round.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm just glad we're not at linear tonight, because the 4 broadcasts I've done in 3 days, not including this one, have all been at linear. But let me say, 3 of those times it was the midgets, and last night, if you didn't watch it, for the Down Under Graphics Sprint Car Summer Series, round number 1, presented by BK Designs and V8's Online. If you didn't watch that race last night, go into V8's Online's YouTube page, search it up. It'll be a video of last night, and let me tell you, they had, I think, 3 heat races, 2 B mains, and a feature event. And let me tell you, there was no time to take a breath, because with the heat racing format that was used last night, it was over within sort of an hour. And let me tell you, the racing was spectacular. So do yourself a favour and go check that out. We go back to green. Danny Vassell will lead Lachlan Smith. Then we are back underway. 11 laps to run as they come past the flag stand down into 1 and 2 at Knoxville. Oh, Phelan caught the inside berm, and Berkeley got into the back of the 49. Thankfully, both cars able to keep it under power right now. Look at Bruce Smith on the inside of Atkins in turn number 1 and 2. Danny Vassell still your race leader. Keep an eye on the 42. Brett Gerards as well, making a top 5 appearance here right now. But the battle is on for the minor placings. Atkins on the inside of Smith. They almost made contact now. 8.5 to run. Make that 8 laps to run as they come off turn number 4. Danny Vassell still your race leader.
Bruce Smith's in 4th place there, doing a fantastic job, just managing to hold off Brett at the moment. But Brett looks racy and trying to get his way around there.
Yeah, battle going on behind him. Daniel Gow, Joel Berkeley, and Zachary Phelan. 3 wide off turn number 4. Phelan comes up into Gow, and Gow clouts the wall on the front stretch. He's now going to run the cushion in turn 1 and 2. All 3 cars keep it going right now, but I'm intrigued. The battle on for the minor placings right now. Lachlan Smith, he's got his hands full of that 26 of Todd Atkins, who was your pole sitter here tonight. And Bruce Smith, here comes Berkeley up to position number 5. 5.5 to go.
He's made it look easy again. He's just driven his way up to 5th position, bro.
No matter what he drives, he can always find a way to the front. Atkins with a big slide job attempt on Lachlan Smith. Very unsuccessful, I might add. Now here comes the 24 of Bruce Smith. Running the low side in 3 and 4. Berkeley runs the low side as well. Smith takes over 4th. Third, sorry, puts Atkins back to 4th. And here comes Berkeley now. Working through the middle, down the back, straight away into turn number 3 and 4 they go. Berkeley running the low side. The only car in the top 5 to run the bottom in turn number 3 and 4. And man, is he making it work. 3 wide as they go into 1 and 2. Slider by Atkins on Smith. Smith back around the outside. Contact upside down. That will end the race under caution. Atkins and Smith. What a race, what a finish we were going to have. But unfortunately, it falls just a little bit short. And congratulations to Danny Vassell.
I'm not sure if Atkins saw Joel there. I think he was a bit surprised with Joel coming down so quick. He came right down to try and pull the slider on Bruce Smith, but I think it spooked him a little bit that Joel was there already.
Well, what a final couple of laps that was. As Berkeley, Gowan, Lachlan Smith all play silly buggers. Berkeley wants to lead a lap, so you'll see Berkeley go to the top of the charts just for one last time, and he will not finish in first position. As you can see, the white flag is out, but we'll go through your finishing order as they come across the start-finish line, and we're going to wait till it is official. But man, what a race that was there for the minor placings. And I tell you what, should we have gone green, well, Lachlan Smith might have had his hands full, but I think Danny Vassell had enough just to get home.
Yeah, I think Daniel Vassell may have had a bit of a gap there, but Lachlan Smith looked like he only had the high line to run. So looking at how Joel was running that low line, I think Lachlan would have had to either try the low line to block, or he may have lost that second position.
Alright, so we'll go through your finishing results here. And coming home with the win is going to be Danny Vassell. Coming home in second is Lachlan Smith. From third, all the way from position number 19 is Joel Berkeley. Fourth is going to go to Daniel Gow. Brett Gerards comes home in fifth. Zach Phelan comes home in sixth. Aaron Kelly from 18th up to 7th. James Robbie from 13th to 8th. Gavin Sadler once again does it from position number 20 and gets a top 10. He comes home in 9th. Sean McGinniskin finishes in 10th. We go over the page with our 11th finisher of Nathan Norman, Darren Brumfield, Michelle Callow, Todd Atkins, Bruce Smith in 15th. Lance Bainton 16th. Brad Smedley in 17th. 18th was Cody Morosky. Scott Butler 19th, and Mitchell G rounds out our 20th car on the grid. So we try and have a word with our top 3. In fact, I'll bring in Joel Berkeley since he is waiting for us, and talking with our third place finisher from position number 19. Joel, I laid the challenge down to you again to start from the back. Fell a couple of spots short, but on a tacky track it was a little bit hard to pass at the start, but you made it work.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard track to pass for. One slip to go on slip, I was fine. I think I did 16.0 on that like 26 there. I was, yeah, I was talent, but
Well, look, I'm going to lay the challenge down to you again for race number 2. You're going to start from the back?
yeah, I just want to not Sam make qualifying this time, so I actually know I'm in the field instead of just missing it, almost.
Yeah, it was getting very close there. He qualified, I think it was 19th, and there wasn't too much between 20th and 21st. But hey, look, third on a track, after sort of getting involved and trying to miss a couple of wrecks at the start, it's not too bad.
Yeah, third's alright. I'm still surprised I missed that break, actually. Especially that first one. I'm almost back to the fence trying to miss that, eh?
I'm not sure what you're going to be more surprised about, finishing third or actually your net being able to hold up. But hey, congratulations on third. I'm sure you got some people you want to thank, and make sure your internet company's one of them.
Thanks for the voice to Haley. And Telstra, okay?
There we go. Good luck in race 2.
Thanks.
Oh, Joel. Yeah. Oh, look, he's copped a lot of slack from me, and you know, to do it over a broadcast, you know, it's good to have a joke with him. You know what you're going to get with Joel. But we'll bring in Lachlan Smith, who finished second, and we'll throw the mic over to you, Sean.
Yeah, Lachlan, good drive in that race. Started second, finished second. I'm sure you wanted that one more place forward, but I'm sure you'll take second for this race.
Yeah, I'm happy with second. It was a bit airy there mid-race, but yeah, I sort of tried doing a bit too much at the end, trying to catch Dan, and shot myself on the foot.
Yeah, we saw that high line was definitely the best way around at the start of the race. Did you try the bottom line to go down there? We saw Joel Berkeley come from 19th to get to third on that low line. So you think that low line was there?
I wasn't willing to risk it. I didn't want to go down there and not find the grip there, but I ran a few laps after the race had finished, and yeah, it would have been meant past again.
Yeah, hindsight is an amazing thing, isn't it? So moving on to the second race, is there anybody else you would like to thank?
Yeah, Factory Cane Australia, the boys who gave us at the race, and all the viewers on the stream.
Thanks for that, Lachlan. Good luck in the second race.
Good night, boys.
So it's always a hard thing, isn't it, Brad? I mean, you think that low line's there, but then you're just not sure. And when you're sitting in second place, do you take the risk to go that one place forward, and lose possibly more spaces, or sit there and take second?
It's always tough, you know, because you'd almost think about with the leaders, you know, the leader will never know where, how close the people behind them are, whether they're running the fastest line or whatnot. But we'll bring in Danny Vassell, who started on the inside of the second row and comes away with the win. Danny, congratulations on another feature win. You've got to be happy about that.
Yeah, pretty stoked actually. Pretty hard to come across, so whenever you get one, it's pretty good.
You had Todd Atkins there at the start, setting quick time, kind of maybe surprised us all a bit there, but I'll tell you what, he raced well for the most part before getting caught up in an accident. He was a little bit hard to pass.
Yeah, early on it's sort of one line on the bottom, and you just sort of left the work a little bit and stuck the nose in and made it work, so a little bit of contact, and just, for the most part it wasn't on purpose, so yeah, it wasn't that accident.
That bottom side was fairly fast all race. You guys, probably at lap sort of 20 or 21, you guys started to go to the top. Was there any thought of maybe going back down to the bottom and seeing what was down there?
Well, I just saw that slip there and thought I'd get above it, and there's less chance of making a mistake. I'm sure if I'd have heard someone following in behind me, I might have looked back to the bottom, but yeah, so it's just trying to conserve the lead.
Well, mate, you come away with the lead and you come away with the victory as well. But we're not done here. We've still got race number 2. Expect a little bit of a different track. We're still at Knoxville, but we're a little bit of a different type of racetrack. When it comes to being a lot more slick.
Yeah, certainly with the racing on it, and then being up race back to back generally with slicker conditions,
Right, we'll let you get out of here, but I'm sure you've got some sponsors you want to thank.
yeah, just Iron and all the guys at GSR.
Alright, Danny, good luck in race number 2.
Thanks, mate.
Alright, so race number 1 is complete. We are going to take a quick break here on Ultimate Dirt TV. The second session for race number 2 launches in about 11 minutes. So we'll take a break for about 10 to 15 minutes and we'll come back with race number 2. You're watching Ultimate Dirt TV, the WP Concreting Australian Fix Setup 410 Sprint Car Series.